Amazon is going to be paying me $11,000 this month for publishing books that I didn't even write. In this video, I'm going to be going over 4 main things that help contribute to my success and how I managed to do this, and just basically how I'm getting paid from Amazon $11,000 this month. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get right into the video. Before we get into the main part of the video here, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my kind of content, which is all about publishing books online, entrepreneurship, and just personal health. If that kind of thing interests you, make sure you drop a like and turn on the notification bell so you know when I post videos. Be very appreciative if you do that. Let's get into the main reason why you click this video, and that is going to be how I managed to generate $11,000 from Amazon for publishing books that I didn't even write. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm going to explain how that works. Basically, I'm self-publishing books on Amazon Kindle store and the Audible store and a couple other networks, but my main income comes from Amazon Kindle and audible.com, which is also known as ACX. So to put things short, I have other videos on how publishing works and all this self-publishing stuff, so I'll link them down below. You can also check them out on my channel. But basically, I'm hiring ghostwriters to write 30,000 word books, and then I'm publishing those books under pen names that I choose and making covers for them and all these other things that go together when it comes to making a book and publishing it. I'm doing all that, but I'm not writing it. Like, I'm getting other people to write these books for me. And it usually takes them around 2 to 4 weeks to write the books. And then you publish them, you get them edited, and whatever it takes to get the books published. I don't want to go into this kind of thing today. But anyways, yes, that's what I do, and it made me $11,000 back in December, and Amazon doesn't pay actually for 2 months, so I'm actually getting paid at the end of this month, which is February now. Today I'm recording this, it's February 27th. This video will probably be posted at a later date. I am getting paid finally for my month of December, where I generated, I'll put a screenshot on the screen here, around 6,800 USD total. I know it says around like 6,200 USD in that screenshot, but if you add the Great Britain pound and all the other currencies there, it gets to around 6,800, I think. That's just off the top of my head. I haven't looked at it for a while. And then Audible actually pays a month later. So I'm getting paid this month for the month of January, which was my best month yet on audible.com, selling all my books. I actually only have 11 titles on audible.com and then 26 on KDP, which is Amazon. But from Audible in the month of January, it was my best month yet, and I managed to generate 4,400 USD from 1 month's pay on Audible. So in total right now, I have around just under 30 books that are published on Kindle, and then 11 that are live on Audible. Audible is a lot longer to get them live. The process is a lot different than getting them live on KDP, so that's why it's so much less. But during the month of December, when I made this money, I had around 20 books live on KDP, and I think I had around 9 live on audible.com. So sorry, in January I had around 10 or 11 live on audible.com, and then in December for KDP, which doesn't pay for 2 months, so that's why I'm saying back in December, I had around 20 books live on there. So of those books, they managed to generate me a grand total of around $11,000 if you add January's month, which I'm getting paid for this month, and then December's month, which I'm getting paid for this month from KDP, January from Audible. It's around $11,000 that I'm getting in my bank account this month from publishing books. And just seeing that money coming from both of these platforms, it's really motivational for me, like, just to see that, and it keeps me going and keeps me working and continue to publishing more books, getting them onto Audible, getting them onto KDP, so I can make more money and continue to grow my publishing business. I wanted to go over a couple of things today, actually 4 main things that I feel like help contribute to the success that I had in December, if you want to call it success. In my eyes, it's pretty good for me personally, for business. It's a bit of money for me to be making in 1 month. It's more than I've ever made. And I just want to go over the 4 main things that I kept in mind while I was doing this, and how they've helped me and how they can help you too. So let's get into number 1. So number 1 for me is maintaining positive and healthy relationships with my VAs that I work with. So these are people that do my ghostwriting, proofreading, cover design, book formatting, and all these other things that contribute to my publishing business that I can't do alone. So the main one being writing. Maintaining healthy relationships with VAs is super important when it comes to publishing books, and honestly any other business that requires VAs. Maintaining a healthy and positive relationship with them is something that is a major key in my eyes. I just think if you treat a VA well and tip them extra money on gigs, like whether it be writing, proofreading, tip them extra money when they deserve it, and continue to do business with them for the future, reference your friends to them, get them more business. I think that they're going to return the favor in the work that they do for you, and the quality is going to just keep on rising, and that relationship you build between each other will get stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think that just keeping that positive relationship with a VA is super crucial when it comes to maintaining a well-oiled machine when it comes to a business like publishing. Number 2 is having group chats, like Facebook Messenger group chats, and also being in Facebook groups that are related to the business that you're in. So for me, it's publishing, self-publishing on Amazon and Audible. Currently, I have a couple group chats that I have with a couple of friends that are making around this, obviously a little bit more than me. I'm new to this, but some people make a lot more money than me with publishing, and I'm in group chats with them. And just being able to talk to them and have updates, seeing where they're at with their business, what they're doing differently, different strategies they're using, and how much money they're spending on books, and all this other information is super valuable to have when it comes to these kind of online businesses. Because if you don't have this kind of communication with like Facebook groups and Facebook Messenger groups, it's tough to stay grounded, and because it can get very lonely because there's not really many people to talk to about it. So if you have other people that are similar minded to you and in the same kind of business niche, I think that's a super good thing to have when it comes to online businesses like this. Having those people around you, it's just like a constant reminder to keep working, and it reminds you what's possible. One thing I always keep in mind is like, if these people are doing it, then why can't I do it as well? So I think being in these Facebook groups and these Messenger group chats are super valuable when it comes to online business like this, because it can get very lonely. So when you're able to talk to like-minded people like that, it's definitely a major key. And I just think it's something to keep in mind if you're going to be getting into online business like this. And it's definitely a major contributor as to how I managed to get to that point where I was. Because without these other people and seeing how they did it, I definitely don't know if I would have been able to do it on my own like I did. Number 3 is just maintaining organization and tracking everything that you do when it comes to your online business. And this has been huge for me when it comes to publishing books. For me, my main organization and tracking comes from Google Docs, Google Sheets, and my hard drive that I have taped to the back of my laptop, my external hard drive. When it comes to Google Spreadsheets, or not spreadsheets, Google Sheets, I track all of my money coming in and all my money going out when it comes to my business. So just things like ghostwriting costs, narration costs, book cover costs, all the different costs that are contributing to publishing books, I make sure that I jot them down per month and just keep an organized list of everything that I'm spending my money on. And then I'll also track all the money that comes in, so like my payments from KDP, payments from ACX, payments from Ingram Spark, all these different platforms, and then I'll track them and add everything up at the end of the month. So I'm organized, and I know where my money's going, and I know if I'm profiting or not. Simple stuff, but if you're not doing this, you definitely need to do it when it comes to business. It keeps things organized, and it gives you an idea of how much you're spending and what you can spend for the next month. Another thing I like to do is just have a Google Doc with all of my things that I do every single day that contribute to my business. I mentioned this in a past video. So every single day I have a new date. I write down the date, and then I write down every single thing that I do that is contribute to getting my business to the next step. So the night before, I'll make a to-do list, and then once I get those things done throughout the next day, I write them down on this list and just jot down this work log, basically is what I call it. And it just keeps me organized, and it reminds me of everything that I've done throughout the day, so I don't do it again, or just so I know that I've got it done. And it just keeps me motivated to keep doing more things. And then I also keep a bookmark tab of all my Google Docs, because you can't make folders in Google Docs. Well, you can make it in Google Drive, but I wish you could make folders within the Google Docs website, but you can't. So I keep all of my Google Docs in a folder on my laptop in my Google Chrome bookmarks tab. So like I have right here, I'm just looking at it, I have book outlines, book descriptions, all my book bundles, my manuscripts, my Amazon ads, copy, like all these different things that I do in Google Docs. I have them organized in my bookmarks on my computer. And then the last thing is my hard drive, my external hard drive, which I have taped to the back of my computer, where I keep all of my physical not physical, but my Word documents. So I have 2 copies. I have my Word documents and then my Google Docs with all of my manuscripts. Then I also keep things like my covers, my pen name logos, all these other things that go together with publishing. I keep them on my hard drive because I can put them in like Google Drive and stuff, but I like having a physical hard drive that I can bring around with me. So yeah, that's number 3. Organization and tracking is huge, and it's definitely a major contributor to making all of this money with publishing. And if I didn't do these kind of things, I definitely wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. And the last thing is kind of a mindset thing, but it's also something that contributes to majorly all of the online business things that you can be doing. And it's just being resilient and not giving up. And this is the most important. I know it sounds super cliche, but making sure that you solve problems and treat them as challenges, not roadblocks, as something that's in your way and you can't get around it. Make sure it's a challenge and solve the problem. Because if you don't solve the problem, you're just going to be locked up, you start procrastinating, you never get around to it. Any problem that I've faced with publishing, I make sure that I solve it and get it done and not procrastinate around it, because you just start feeling guilty and things getting worse, and then things build up, and then over time you lose it, and then you can't continue with your business. And that's just something that I've experienced with like Amazon FBA and Shopify dropshipping and any other online business that I've tried that I've failed in. Problems arise, and then I just procrastinate around it and I never get around to solving it. So I think just treating problems as a challenge and not a roadblock has been huge for me, and is the reason why I'm still publishing today and still making money with this method. Another thing when it comes to being resilient and not giving up is making sure that you always ask questions when you're stuck. Just don't be embarrassed. That's something that I've experienced before. I know that I get embarrassed because I don't want to ask a stupid question, but when it comes to online business, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Make sure that you get your questions answered, because even the people that you're asking these questions to, they've been through exactly what you're already going through, and they've asked the same questions and they understand. That's what I've learned. People aren't making fun of you for asking stupid questions. This is obviously to a certain degree. You don't want to ask like 1,000 questions a day, but to a certain degree, you can ask these questions. People have asked them before. You're not going to look like an idiot. You're actually going to look smarter because you're opening up and you're asking questions and you're looking to expand your knowledge when it comes to your business. I don't think this is a bad thing at all. Asking questions and being resilient and solving these problems to do with the questions is definitely something that contributes to success with online business. And the last thing when it comes to being resilient and just not giving up is making sure that you also take time to take breaks, because burnout is a real thing. I've experienced it many times. Make sure you take breaks and recharge, because if you're not doing that, like, you're going to burn out, and then your work ethic and your quality of all your work is going to go downhill. So take those breaks, take a day off, and then work the other days. Just breaks are super important when it comes to being resilient. You're not going to be very resilient if you're not taking breaks, because you're going to get burned out and you're going to be tired, and your business is going to lack because of that. So those are the main 4 things that well, not the main 4 things, but 4 things that contributed to my success for making this $11,000 that came from my KDP royalties in December and my ACX royalties in January. Around 11,000 USD, which is a lot because I'm from Canada, so it's like, I don't know, 15,000 Canadian, which is pretty good for me in 1 month. I've obviously never made that in 1 month before. So let me know if you like these kinds of videos, these income reports with like steps of how I got to where I was. I think it can be valuable for people. I'm not saying that I'm the best ever. These are just things that help me personally contribute to success for myself. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet and you're not tired of me, make sure you check out my Instagram. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. I post like behind the scenes stuff, personalized content. If you're not tired of me, check that out. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I'm posting videos. I post one every single Sunday at the end of the week. I'm trying to do that for the whole year. It's definitely a challenge, but I've been going strong, so I want to keep that up. But yeah, that's it for today. Hope to see you next week, and I will see you later.